The Division 2. This is a game that I played on launch way back in 2019. I played through the whole thing, beat the campaign, and then I just stopped playing. I had a fun time, and I was ready to move on to the next game. This is usually how it goes for live service games with me, but that's not really how these games are made. The Division 2 has been getting update after update for years and years now, and that's to support a thriving community of people who aren't like me. They do want to keep playing. So when Ubisoft invited me to play the 10th anniversary event early, I was like, yeah, there's bound to be a reason for someone like me to return and check it out. And fortunately, there is. You got the anniversary season, realism mode, and a complete visual overhaul. So that's what we're gonna look at today. Before we jump in, this video is sponsored by Ubisoft. The Division 2's 10th anniversary season is live now. Check it out by clicking the link in the description below. They also sent me a code for this exclusive weapon skin called Sharkbait, so you're gonna wanna use the code on screen right now. I've left it in the description below too. Go to the redemption site below and grab your free skins. Before we get into my experience, let's talk about what's new in this update. You've got the anniversary season, which has a ton of events and time-limited game modes and things to unlock. It also has an event pass, which is full of skins from across different Ubisoft games. My personal favorite is this one, which makes me look just like John Splinter Cell. I know his name is Archer. You've got new gear, new weapons, new activities, all kinds of stuff going on for the next month. The first thing that struck me when I started was the visual enhancements, the upgrades on my PC. This game does not look like it's 7 years old. I played it at 4K, 60 FPS, that's what you guys are watching here, and it is just like buttery smooth. You've got things like better lighting, better weather effects. It feels like there's more clutter around, although I'm pretty sure there's not. Maybe just the enhancements make it feel like that. It just feels overall more immersive, certainly than I remember, but also just kind of bringing it up to 2026 standards. I spent a lot of time turning off the HUD and just walking around, like soaking in the environment. It really is pretty to look at. It also made me realize, yeah, maybe that's why there's not a Division 3 yet, because they can just do this. And trust me, I am more than happy not to spend more money on a new game and just have updates. All right, enough with that stuff. It's time to talk about the real reason I think it's worth playing the Division 2 again, and that's Realism Mode. This is what made me want to check it out. Now I'm gonna say a bunch of stuff about the Division, and I don't want you to take it personally. This is just my personal preference. If you like all the stuff that I'm about to say I don't love, more power to you. There's a reason Division is what it is and it has the audience that it has. But for me, something has always bothered me about how this game approaches time to kill. There's just a disconnect for me when you've got a game that's set in reality or a fictional version of the real world and you're shooting humans with real bullets and headshots don't kill them. I just don't really buy in when I have to unload like a billion clips into one enemy to take them down. And that is where Realism Mode comes in, because it basically addresses all of the things I just mentioned. You start with a brand new character set during the Warlords of New York campaign, which I know is old, it came out a while ago, but I'd never played it before. And this was such a breath of fresh air for me. Returning to New York is really incredible. It immediately gave me that nostalgic feeling from playing the first Division. I mean, the environments are just packed with detail. It's so cool staring down these very long corridors of buildings and seeing, you know, the draw distance, how far away you can actually see. And the city is just a wreck. I mean, there's like cranes fallen everywhere. One of the districts apparently was hit by like flooding or a hurricane or something crazy. Just walking through the city is so cool. Back to Realism Mode. So what this does, I would say generally speaking, is turns this into more of a traditional third-person shooter, not a looter shooter, not the RPG style that you're used to with the Division. The first thing that it does is reduces the UI and the HUD. And this, guys, it just makes all the difference. You don't have floating damage numbers, you know, you don't have enemy health bars. There's not, you know, like a constant pop-up in the top right corner telling you, oh, there's an event going on nearby, you should check it out. Like, it really is just honed in on immersing you in what you're doing. I went a step further and I removed the HUD elements where it shows you like where you can take cover, like you press A to take cover, got rid of that. I even tried to remove the health and like cooldown bar in the center of the screen. And of course I wasn't able to. Honestly, that would probably just like break the game. But yeah, it just declutters the experience and helps you focus on what you're actually doing and not being distracted by a billion other things. Realism mode also addresses what I was talking about with sponginess. This doesn't feel like a looter shooter RPG with the gunplay anymore because headshots are headshots. They die unless they have a helmet on. The time to kill in general is way reduced, and that just feels right in my head, like it clicks. This mode also gets rid of all of the RPG stuff that if you were like me, you're always kind of like worried about tracking and making sure you had the best stats. They removed talents, crafting, your specialty. None of that exists in this mode. They even got rid of loot, which was crazy to me. Like, you can't go around and open up crates to get new items. You get rewards for completing missions, and every single time, I would open up my inventory and see what I unlocked. But yeah, it was just kind of a breath of fresh air to not spend that extra time just scouring the environment, looking for boxes and opening up my inventory and comparing to what I had. You guys know what I mean. The only things that your weapons and gear have are minor characteristics, like, you move a little more slowly with this piece of body armor, or this gun has a higher RPM than the other one. And your weapon damage is actually based on the caliber of bullet that weapon uses. So I found out pretty quickly that the 1886 rifle was really powerful, so I used that for most of my experience. And then I would pair that with something like an SMG for, a little more spray and pray if I didn't have to be super accurate. So the whole pitch for Realism Mode is that it's designed to be a challenge for veterans of, the Division and this franchise. And of course, like I said, I can't really call myself a veteran, but man, this was really tough for me. Like, there are some very unforgiving checkpoints throughout where I was like, geez, they really got me. The guys that really got me are the ones that run at you with a hatchet and a riot shield. I mean, you have to aim for their legs, and if you miss those shots, you're in trouble. What makes it even more difficult is the ammo situation. So you know how in the Division, there's normally crates around that allow you to resupply in between combat encounters? You don't have that in Realism Mode. You can't refill your ammo unless you go to a safe location like a safe house, or you find an ammo pickup on the ground. And these are very far and few between. There were so many times where the encounter turned into this butt-clenching experience where I had to really conserve my ammo, and I would get down to just my pistol so often and barely scrape by. And that's the kind of compelling experience that makes me want to keep playing this. It forced me to rethink my loadout and switch to different weapon combinations just to get past the encounter that I was stuck on. I should probably tell you guys so you don't run into this. I ran into an issue where I would put on two weapons that would use the same caliber of bullet or same style of bullet, so they would share the same ammo pool. So as I was shooting one, it was taking away ammo from the other. So yeah, I had to experiment with different weapon combos, and it really forced me to focus in order to actually be able to complete this stuff. So that's Realism Mode. Let's talk a little bit more about the story. So again, this is old content, but it was fresh for me. You are tasked with going back to New York and tracking down Aaron Keener, who is the main villain from the 1st Division. It's pretty standard in terms of the layout. You have to find all of his lieutenants, locate them, do some investigation missions in order to find them, and of course take them out. All leading to the big bad boss, Aaron Keener, in the end. I really appreciated the cutscenes for this because the main characters, Rhodes and Benitez, are so New York.
She's been flag waving from behind the authority of a division badge for way too long.
I mean, principles are great, but they're gonna put food on the table or protect you from a pack of Rikers.
I could absolutely picture these guys, I don't know, selling pastrami sandwiches on the streets of New York or being like a police chief. My first target I hunted down was Theo Parnell, and this guy is basically like a hacker, like a drone dude. So it led me to a couple different locations throughout a certain part, his district of Manhattan, New York. My investigations led me to this prison complex where Theo was hiding, and this is a really interesting set piece because it really shuttles you through this entire complex. Like I said, his whole theme is drones. So he would summon these drones out of nowhere. My model 1886 rifle just completely obliterated them. But yeah, I had to kind of figure that out for myself. This guy would also create holograms of himself. So every now and then I would come across, a corner and be like, oh my God. I think I was still getting used to Realism Mode, but man, this is one of those with checkpoints that really frustrated me. There are some unforgiving like resets where if you die, they kick you all the way back out. You gotta restart. Of course, I won't spoil anything, but I eventually tracked him down, took him out. The next guy I hunted down is named Kajika. It's kind of a funny name. This is one of those machete guys who just runs at you and tries to chop you up. I did a couple more investigation missions, which eventually led me to the tunnels below New York, underground. Turns out these guys have a massive drill, basically like the Underminer from The Incredibles. This guy's gimmick is that he has these shock traps. So he'll throw a bundle out. It's like impossible to get out of them. And then if you can, take them out one by one in order to progress. This one also had some cool set pieces, like going beneath the tunnels and avoiding rock falls, like coming down from the ground as you're in a shooting gallery. There's also this, I don't know if you can call it a puzzle, but steam room where suddenly the entire room fills with steam and you have to carefully go through and shut off some water valves in order to save your life, or else it will kill you. I didn't have a ton of time to play this before early access ended, so that was all I was able to play. It's not just main missions, by the way. There is some side content I found just roaming around. There's propaganda broadcasts and, public executions that you can stop if you want to for some extra resources. But it's not much. I think it's really, if you enjoy that kind of content, you can do it. If not, then you can ignore it and focus on the main mission. Realism Mode really feels like it was made for me, and I had a lot of fun with it. I really do hope they decide to bring it back. It's just available during these 4 weeks, and you can only do the Warlords of New York expansion with Realism Mode. But the fact that it appeals to someone like me, I think is a perfect reason for them to make it a permanent mode. But I'm sure that requires a lot of work, and I don't know, maybe they're working on it, who knows? That is it for me, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video, be sure to click the link in the description below to check out The Division 2's 10th anniversary season now. And don't forget to grab that custom weapon skin using the code on screen, link below as well, where you can redeem it on the website and get it for yourselves in game. And thanks again to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. I just want to give you guys a quick update before we wrap up here. I know I said in my last video that the next video would be the Assassin's Creed Conspiracies video, and that's obviously not what this was. Turns out it's taking me longer than I expected, but honestly, guys, I feel like that's a good thing. I replayed the entire game and discovered some key discrepancies and also content that I had never seen before. And basically, I would have missed it and it would have made for a worse video. I would have gotten stuff wrong had I not done that. And I'm also planning to replay Assassin's Creed 2, maybe not the whole thing, but just for the truth puzzles to get that footage and really dive into that stuff. So basically, yeah, I'm taking my time to make the best video possible. And that's a good thing. Also, to give you guys a teaser, I am planning to go to the real location where John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I don't know what I'm gonna film there yet. I don't know if they're gonna look at me and be like, what is this creep doing? I'm sure people do that all the time though, it's a famous spot. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be a really packed video. The script is already pretty long, so I'm thinking above 30 minutes maybe. I am so excited to share it with you guys, but again, I'm not gonna put it out there until it's ready. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.